Get dressed, you merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay, for it is Christmas, 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 Christmas Day. It's Christmas, 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 Christmas Day, Christmas Day. It is Christmas Day, Christmas Day. It is Christmas Day. Eve, 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 Eve. Hiya. Say hello.
Hi.
Welcome to the Geeky Girls Knit and Cross Stitch podcast / FlossTube. I'm Cece, also known as Java Pearl.
I'm Sammy, also known as Jamie Studios.
And we're glad to have you here today. Today is Thursday, the 19th of December, 2019, and this is episode 375, in which it's our 5th annual Christmas karaoke episode. Which is why we just sang to you. Dammy, would you explain to them, in case they haven't been watching or they have never heard of our favorite radio comedy, why we sang the song that way?
One of the characters from Cabin Pressure, which is a British radio comedy that was on a couple years ago, he doesn't realize that the words are God rest instead of get dressed.
Yes. So, stay tuned. We'll be singing the entire episode. I mean, we won't be singing every word of the episode. We'll be talking. But we will be singing in every single segment. So, we'd like to say a big welcome back. We love you guys. To all our returning viewers, and a big hi out to any new viewers. Thanks for giving us a shot. Hope you enjoy the show. Dammy, if someone is not a member of our Ravelry group, what should they do and why?
You should join our group on Ravelry and introduce yourself in our introductions thread, because you'll get a shout out on our next episode, and you'll be able to participate in all our alongs and giveaways.
That's right. So, there's something I was going to say, and it just flew out of my mind. Can you believe that Christmas is next week?
Christmas is 6 days away.
Yes. Which means this is the last episode before Christmas, so we have to do Christmas karaoke. This year has just, I think, thrown almost everyone, because Thanksgiving here in the U.S. was so late. It was the 30th?
I don't remember. It
was very close to the end of November. No, it was the 28th, because December 1st was a Sunday. So I think it was the 28th. And it just threw everything, because I feel like there should be a whole extra week. Not just 6 days from now. There should be 6 plus 7, which is 13. There should be 13 days to Christmas, not 6. Does anybody else feel that way? Okay, well, we're going to make it through somehow. We've got not as much as last week to talk about, because last week I was editing the episode and I was like, Dammy, this episode is an hour and a half long. Actually, it was a little over an hour and a half, but we had a lot to catch y'all up on. So that we don't make this an hour and a half long episode, we should really move on to the next segment. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go. Take a look at the 5 and 10, glistening once again, with candy canes and silver lanes aglow. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Toys in every store, but the prettiest sight to see is the holly that will be on your own front door. Sorry, I was harmonizing a little bit. Okay, go, Dammy.
We're not gonna talk about what's on our needles.
Do you have anything on the needles?
No.
Okay, because you've been working on your cross stitch.
Yeah.
Okay, so the only thing actively I've been working on, and I really have not worked on it that much because I had some deadline cross stitching, which I'll talk about in the FlossTube segment. I'm trying to get to the end of this round. But I am knitting Christmas slippers for my besties boys. This is a pattern called Bed Peds by Yvonne Mendelson. I'm using US 5s 3.75 mil needles and US 7s 4.5 mil needles. And the yarn That's a little closer to the true color right there. Is Knitology Glowing Worsted in the Pachyderm colorway and Red Heart Soft in the light gray heather colorway. So I've got one of Izzy's done. I think I'm done with the toe. I need to count stitches on this one so I can start on the pattern. And then I'm going to use the exact same yarn when I make them for Noah. They're going to be a little bit bigger because he's got a little bigger feet, but I'm going to put ribbed cuff here instead of rolled so that they can tell them apart. So that is the only thing I've been knitting. I finished one knitting thing, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Cross stitch has just taken over this month with me doing the countdown to Christmas for my Vlogmas.
You're going to talk about that next segment.
Yeah, I'm going to. It's just taken over. So that's why I haven't been knitting that much. Don't worry. I have yarn on the table that I'm going to bribe someone sitting on this couch with me into winding for me so that I can cast it on so that I can knit it while we go see the new Star Wars movie. No spoilers because we're not seeing it until a week from tomorrow.
Rip.
So we're going to be avoiding spoilers. But yeah, I need to work on these a little bit more. And so I'm hoping I can get my time organized to be able to do that. Okay, well, that's it for this segment, so let's move on to the next one. Oh, holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Savior's birth.
Look at Pink.
Long lay the world in sin and error pining, till he appears and the soul felt its worth. A thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices, for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. Fall on your knees, oh, hear the angel voices, oh, night divine, oh, night when Christ was born. Oh, night divine, oh, night divine.
I don't think Pink likes our singing.
You don't like us singing, baby?
She's like, I want to take a nap, actually.
Well, after your little adventure in a certain laundry basket, I can understand why. You're sleepy. If you want to see that video, watch my Vlogmas that will go live on Friday the 20th. Because Dammy called me into her room and she was like, have you seen the cat? And I was looking and she was in Dammy's laundry basket in her closet and couldn't get out.
No, she didn't want to get out.
Oh, well, I got her out after I recorded video. Okay, what segment is this, Dammy?
We're going to talk about her finished project.
That's right. My weekly preemie hat, number 50 for the years. 2 more this year. And yes, I am going to continue next year. Just so you know. This is from my free top-down preemie hat pattern that you can find on Ravelry. It's on US 6's 4mm needles, and the yarn is Big Twist Sincerely Ombres in the Cupcake Confetti colorway and Reynolds Playtime in the Tan colorway. I actually did not knit this on Sunday. I knit it on Tuesday because I was on a deadline for some cross-stitch stuff, which I'll show you in a minute. So, yeah, there's my finished hat for the week. 2 more to go this year. And then we'll start all over again. I think next year I have to do 53. I think there's 53 Sundays next year because next year's a leap year too. So that affects things. So, all right. Well, that's everything for this segment. So we should move on to the next one. Angels we have heard on high, sweetly singing o'er the plains and the mountains in reply. echoing the joyous strains. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Gloria in excelsis Deo. I think Pink really does not like us singing.
No.
Now it's time for FlossTube. Dammy, you're up first.
Adventure.
You have made epic progress on this week. So hold it a little closer. Tell them what you did.
But I honestly don't remember what all I did this week besides the word.
You did all the back stitching on the wheels, the spokes.
Not on the wheels. I'm doing the wheels right now.
Oh, you did the back stitching though for the spokes.
Mm-hmm.
And didn't you do some back stitching in the flower area? Is there some there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then you've done the whole adventure down there, but what goes on top?
Every day is Anne.
But it's not in cursive right now. It's just in block letters.
It's just hard to keep track because now I'm on the single strand stitching that goes all the way around. So.
Yeah, it's a little harder to do that. Do you want to tell them about your upcoming projects?
No. Tell them about it when I finish this one.
Okay, she's got a couple of upcoming projects. We bought some floss last night. Okay. Let me talk about my stuff.
Yes, what about you?
Okay, let's start with Chicken Joy, actually. So this is a pattern by Priscilla and Chelsea of Stitching with the Housewives. This is not a great picture, but that's what it looks like. And I am getting very close to being done. Here we go. So I need to finish the, what is this called?
Trunk?
The trunk. Sorry, words. I need to finish the trunk. I need to give the chicken, rooster, whatever it is, beak, head feathers, tail feathers. I was talking about this last night at knitting group, and I forgot to say, actually, I think I was recording it for Vlogmas. I forgot to say that I need to do the chicken's legs, and Joanne was like, and the legs, and I was like, oh no, this is a floating chicken. This is Joy, the floating Christmas chicken.
Yes.
Okay, you had to be there, I guess. Okay, and then I need to do the lights. So there's lights that come all this way up into the tree, and then I'll be done. So I might actually even finish this today. Just depending on how much time I have to stitch after I do all the podcast stuff. So, and I use that, let me tell you what I used it for School of Magical Stitches and Literature, which is a cross-stitch challenge where you earn points that really don't mean anything, but they are a good motivator for me. So last week I knit 200 stitches on Chicken Joy for a prompt that was twin projects, so they needed to have the same theme. So my countdown to Christmas, obviously was Christmas. Chicken Joy is obviously Christmas. They both had Christmas trees, they both had snow. So I did that. I think that might be all that I did on that last week. And then this week so far, I did 250 stitches on Chicken Joy because I don't have a project that is themed to be like the last Horcrux, whether it's the snake or the female version. So I had to do 250 stitches as a penalty to get that to count. So that's all I've used it for so far. I will also be using it as another penalty thing. I'll tell you about that in a second. Okay, and then next up is my Country Cottage Needleworks Countdown to Christmas, which is a project that I'm doing for my Vlogmas, where I'm doing a square every day. I'll show you what it's going to look like when it's done. So squares with numbers and a Christmas item, although some of these items we can't figure out what they are. As well as houses up top and some borders. Apparently the neighbors are having company and the dogs don't like it. Okay, I have not done today's yet, but I have done through the 18th. So, not many squares left to go. And then I think what I'm going to do is, after I finish square 25, because I continue doing Vlogmas all the way through the end of the year, is I'm going to work a little bit each of the days on the border and the houses up top. I used this a lot for School of Magical Stitches. Okay, last week I used it for 200 stitches for the same project, the same prompt of the twin projects with the same theme. I did it, I did 400 stitches on it for the prompt that was a repeating pattern. So because it has the boxes that repeat, it's also got the numbers that repeat in the same font and color. And then that was all for last week. This week, I've used 168 stitches thus far on a project that makes me smile. So we had to either pick Friendly Face or Sibling Rivalry, which would be a project I must finish, which I guess it could count for that too. I've used 19 stitches thus far on a penalty thing where I have to stitch on something I find witty, but I could not figure out how to make any of my projects be witty. So I'm doing 250 stitches on that. I did 102 stitches on it for another penalty assignment because you had to pick a project that related to Professor McGonagall and one that related to Professor Snape, and then there was the coin toss. But I couldn't figure out how to make my projects fit either one. So
McGonagall, cat.
I don't have a cat project.
Cats chase chicken.
It's fine. I've finished the penalty stitches already. And then I'm also doing it for, what is the name of the thing where it's got the jewel in it in book 7?
The diadem?
Yes. So we had to say what color or what kind of jewel we would have in our diadem and stitch in that color. So, because normally, I would say pink, but I don't have pink in any of the projects I'm currently knitting on.
That's horrible.
I know. So I chose a diamond because it's white. And so I'm using the squares, the borders in Countdown to Christmas, as well as there's some other white stitches in areas. So I've done 68.
Cheater.
I know. No, it's not cheating. I got to pick what kind I wanted. It's fine. It didn't say you have to pick your favorite stone. It said pick a stone. So I've done 68 stitches so far for that. Okay, and then I need to show you on the screen. I finished 2 ornaments. The first one, okay, so these are both the Stitchy Noel pattern, which was done by. It was designed by 4 boys and an NL.
I don't remember.
Girl, I can't remember. I'll link it in the show notes. It was a charity pattern for Flossmas this year. So the first one, and I modified the pattern greatly on both of them because I just did. I stitched the first one for my stitching group Christmas party. And when I finished it, I mounted it on sticky board. And then I put silver glitter paper behind it. It was another piece of sticky board, but I didn't do it. I didn't use the sticky on it because it was on the back side, and I didn't need that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I mounted it on a star Christmas ornament. So there was that one. My brain is not working, guys. I've been having really bad insomnia, and I'm not getting enough sleep because of it. So I believe it was Melissa that got my ornament. Anyway, and I'll show you what I got in the next segment. And then the second one I stitched for my mom's group Christmas party. And again, did the same thing, mounted it on sticky board, on the silver glitter, and then onto the ornament. And Mel got my ornament that time.
Aww.
So, and that's everything that I have worked on this week, stitching wise. So, I'm really close to finishing Chicken Joy. And I am continuing to work on Countdown to Christmas. The next thing I want to do is I bought some really pretty bookmarks that are cross-stitch fabric in them. And I'm going to stitch some special bookmarks for some special people in my life. So, I know. I didn't get one for you. Would you like me to make you one? Okay. Yeah, so those will be upcoming and I will show you. This segment has gotten really long. Apologies. Brain is not working. Okay. That's everything that I finished or that I've been working on. Let's move on to the next segment. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn pink. No.
Peace on earth.
Peace on earth and mercy mild, God and sinners reconciled. Joyful all ye nations rise, join the triumph of the skies. With angelic hosts proclaim, Christ is born in Bethlehem. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Tammy.
Joyful all ye pinkies rise.
You guys, I think that we're exhausted. Tammy just finished work before we started recording. Okay, Tammy, now it's time for our favorite part of the show. Yummies. What are yummies?
Yummies are our current favorite things we like, things we want to talk to you about.
Yummies. And I have a few over here. So first up, I won a prize from my friend Joanna of Stitching the High Notes. And she sent me some tea. She sent me some Numi aged Earl Grey.
Yeah.
And some Buddha Tea's elderberry tea. What's there? Elderberry tea. And she sent me this pattern. This is Bent Creek Thankful Quaker. And it comes with, do you see the little star buttons in there? It comes with those. So, I will probably stitch this maybe in the summer-ish time so that it'll be ready for Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
So, thank you so much for that, Joanna. I really appreciate it. And I'm excited to stitch it. Okay, I need to show you on the screen. So, my nephew, your cousin, Wyatt's birthday.
What did he do?
No, his birthday was on the 15th. Right?
Yes.
Yes. And I had sent him a pair of slippers like you saw me knitting for Izzy. I had done some for him and his brother Waylon and his sister Lola. And so Lola already has hers because her birthday was earlier in the year. And so my sister sent me this picture of Wyatt with his new slippers. Isn't he handsome?
Aww.
He is. He's such a cutie pie. So, yeah. So that is, I just wanted to show you because y'all saw me knit them. So I just wanted to show you what when they were given to their recipient. Okay, I talked a little bit about the Stitching Group Christmas party a while ago, but I wanted to show you what I got. So, Amy stitched this one, and I really love it. So, it's beaded ornament. So, it has a dog and a bow, and can you see the little birdies up there in the sleigh? And it has a gold Christmas tree. And it's beaded, like I said. So a lot of work went into that. And she also gave me a skein of Classic Colorworks Mistletoe and Ribbon Red, which I didn't have either of those. So I'm very excited to add those to my collection to use. We had a lot of fun at the stitching party. We were missing a few people that we had hoped would be able to be there, but life happens. So we stitched for quite a while, and we had a potluck. Crock-pot pizza was a hit. Other than the black olives, most people didn't want black olives. I should remember that for next time and just put black olives on mine. And then we had the ornaments/smalls exchange, and it was a lot of fun. I put some video in maybe on Monday's Vlogmas. I think that's when it was. So that was a lot of fun. Okay, Dammy, we got
What?
Knit Crate. It comes in the mail. They send us a box every month. So this month we got Vitalana by Knit Crate Yarn. This is the Vitalana Lofty DK, which is a 48% merino wool, 20% baby alpaca, 32% organic cotton, DK weight, 274 yards, 100 grams, in the colorway Firewood. That's pretty true. It's got kind of a wine maroon color in with like the brown and the white. They sent us one of their logo pins, and then they sent us the booklet as they do every month. So this month the theme was greenery, a twist on the traditional holiday season palette with brighter reds, softer greens, and interesting new textures. So these were the 3 colors that you would get one of those in the box. There's mittens and mistletoe. And then this was the sock box. These are the 3 colors. Berry, bright, silver bells, and garland. So there are 4 patterns. First up is a crochet pattern called the Wild Berry Scarf by Holly Gesseman. It's got pom-poms on it, which I love. It was stitched on a US size I9 5.5 millimeter hook, and it says skill level is beginner. See this chart here, I can't show it on the screen, but crochet charts are very confusing to my brain. Okay, then we have a knit pattern called the Keep Me Cozy Leg Warmers by Ashley Robidas. These are super cute. These were stitched on US size 7 4.5 mil needles and US size 9 5.5 mil needles using the DK, and it says it's a beginner level pattern. Yeah, it doesn't look too difficult. So it looks like it is stitched flat and then seamed. Yeah, that's what it does. And then with the sock boxes, we have the Holly Socks by Lauren Gates, another knit pattern. Done on US 1s, 2.25 mil needles. Skill level is intermediate because there are cables in this. It's knit toe up with a heel flap. And then crochet, we have the Fireside Socks by Brenda K.B. Anderson. And those are stitched on size B1 2.25 mil hook using the sock yarn, and it says skill level is advanced.
Oh.
These are stitched, looks like cuff down. Yes, cuff down. And it looks like there's several special techniques and stitches, as well as short rows in it. So that was, I believe, what makes it an advanced pattern. And then next month's theme is citrine.
Fancy.
So it'll be exciting to see what they send us. So again, thanks to Knit Crate for sending us a box every month. Knit Crate also gives us a coupon code that we can share with you. It is Geeky20, so Geeky, and the number's 20. All the letters are capital. And it will get you 20% off your first order. The code will only work to discount the first month of a recurring monthly subscription, as well as any of their shop items. Okay, then the next thing I got was from Love You More Studio. Sorry, studios.com. They sent me a thank you unicorn. So I found out about them because of Michelle Bindi, Bindi Stitches, who is a FlossTuber, as well as a designer. The pattern last week, was it Very Hildy Yule? That one, she designed that one. But she's also learning to knit, and actually, I didn't put a link in the show notes, but she does auctions of stuff every week to donate to different charities. And this week, she is auctioning off all 3 of our physical books, which include the Ravelry download codes, as well as 3 skeins of pink yarn on her Instagram. Help me remember to put that in the show notes, a link to that, because I believe the auction closes Saturday morning. All the details are in her post on Instagram. Anyway, she is a rep for these book sleeves. So this is the one I got. So it's got coffee and treats all over it. And what it is it's a sleeve for a book, just as I said. So it's got this pretty fabric inside. But this is meant to... I am constantly throwing a book in my bag when I go places. And I have just a tote bag that I carry around. So books get jostled around in there. This is going to help protect them, especially since most of what I read are library books. So I got that. And then they also were having a sale on, so they do, I guess, subscription boxes, and they had soaps left over from some of their boxes. So I actually got 4 bars of soap. I got 2 of each of these flavors. The first one is Rattle the Stars, which is rain and garden greens.
I've already smelled them.
Oh, and then this is Levi's Latte, which is a strong coffee. Yes, it's very strong coffee. And then also, they send a bookmark. So I got the bookmark for Cindy Lou Who's coffee order. She wants a peppermint mocha with whole milk. So that's cute. So thank you to Michelle for pointing me in that direction. It's a really great company. They have a lot of amazing stuff. Last night, we were at the mall before our knitting group. And we went into a store that we really love called Fuego. And they had this. I had seen it before, but I took Dammy in to show her. Pusheen, a cross-stitch kit. And it comes with fabric for 3 pieces, a hoop, floss, needles, and this little booklet. And the first half of the booklet is teaching you how to cross-stitch. And then it has 3 patterns. The first is Pusheen just laying down, being a cute kitty. The second pattern is Pusheen with a heart with a donut. And the third pattern is Pusheen really loving the donut with little stars around it. So these look like really quick, easy patterns. Apparently, as I was looking it up so that I could link it in the show notes, apparently there's another one. There's a second box. So
One time around the wheel.
Yay. And then the other thing that we found in Fuego were these Nido Cool Cats.
Oh, someone's stealing someone's spot.
So this is a pink kitty, and it's one of those stress balls. So if you're feeling stressed, you can just squeeze the kitty. This is going to live on my desk.
Squish that cat.
Squishing that cat. I linked that in the show notes too. You can get them on Amazon. And then also last night, our friend Kathy, who is Kathy R. in Ravelry, gave these out. They're gift tags you can put on finished projects to give to family and friends. The front says, "Yes, I made it," and "No, you can't return it." And then the back has a space for you to write in the type of fiber, and then you circle the appropriate laundry instructions for the project. So those can just be tied on to projects. So I thought that was funny and cute. So, and then also Carrie brought us all cookies. So I ate all mine already.
Oh dear.
I know.
Might have to hide mine.
Do you have any yummies?
Oh.
Okay. You went to Stitchy Group Christmas party with me, so that was fun. So, okay, well then let's talk about hashtag GGK Crafty Pad. What is it, Dammy?
It stands for Geeky Girls Night Crafty Photo a Day Challenge. We have a list of photo prompts for each month, so you take a look at the prompt for that day, take a picture related to it, and post it anywhere you like, but we pick our favorites from Instagram.
Yes, and so the December prompts list obviously is around the holidays, Christmas, as Advent, as well as some just of our normal prompts. The January prompts list I will have ready for next week's episode. So, because it's the last episode in 2019. So, Dammy, what are we about to show them?
2 photos from us that we liked and 5 photos from other people that we liked.
Here come the photos. Great job, everybody. It's never too late to join in. You take a look at the prompts for the day. What's today's prompt?
I don't know. I haven't edited.
Oh, you haven't done the video. So actually, Dammy has not done the pictures yet, but we will add it in post-production. Today's prompt is tree. So you interpret that however you want. I will probably take pictures of our Christmas trees and post them. But you interpret it however you want. We're very, very, very cheater-friendly on that. You post it on Instagram. Make sure in the caption. I think Pink is being cute behind the computer. I can't see her.
Taking a bath.
Make sure in the caption. Sorry, we're very distracted today.
She's so cute.
In the
Caption.
make sure you put hashtag GGK Crafty Pad, and yours might get chosen to be featured. If you have a private account on Instagram and you're participating in GGK Crafty Pad, make sure that Dammy's Doodles is following you, because otherwise we can't see your photos. Okay. I don't think we have any upcoming events at the moment, just because holidays and holidays. So, with that, let's move on to the next segment. City sidewalks, busy sidewalks, dressed in holiday style. In the air there's a feeling of Christmas. Children laughing, people passing, meeting smile after smile. And on every street corner you'll hear silver bells,
Silver bells,
silver bells,
silver bells.
it's Christmas time in the city. Ring-a-ling,
Ring-a-ling,
hear them ring.
hear them ring.
Soon it will be Christmas Day.
Now we're going to talk about what we are reading, watching, and listening to.
So what are you reading, Dammy?
My cross-stitch pattern.
What book are you planning on starting next?
I don't know.
Are you waiting for Christmas because you know I bought you a book?
Sure.
Actually, 2 books.
Sure.
But you're also reading something else.
The Glass Scientists, which is a webcomic by Sabrina Katungo.
So you might be getting 15 minutes in a day?
I'm reading down the orders I'm reading. I'm reading them. I'm writing them. I'm reading this pattern. Yeah.
What am I referring to as you're trying to make this work?
October, November, December RAL read along.
So this is a challenge for you to read 15 minutes a day, every day. I don't care what you're reading, as long as you're reading. Although Dammy's trying to cheat a little bit. And there is a finish line thread in the Ravelry group. You post once, you edit that post. All the details are in the Ravelry group as well as in the show notes. You earn entries into the year-long RAL by participating in the seasonal one. Participating. And the first podcast of the new year will be awarding 3 grand prizes. We will also be doing this exact same challenge in 2020. And there is a new Modern Mrs. Darcy 2020 reading challenge that has come out that we will do if you read 12 books. There's 10 prompts, but one of the prompts is to read 3 books, I think, by the same author. I can't remember. So if you read 12 books, you meet all the prompts, you'll get 6 bonus entries into the year-long giveaway. So we'll be starting that again in the new year as we finish out the current one. What I'm reading. I finished reading Burnout, The Secret to Unlocking the Stress Cycle by Emily and Amelia Nagoski. Highly recommend. It was so interesting to get the science behind stress and the stress cycle and how women burn out so easily, as well as techniques and ways to work through some of the issues that cause burnout in women. So really, really good. Since I finished that, nonfiction wise, I'm reading Lagom, I believe is how you say it. If I'm remembering correctly from reading it earlier in the book, I think it's Lagom. Not too little, not too much, just right. The Swedish Guide to Creating Balance in Your Life by Nikki Brantmark. And she is from the UK but moved there and married someone there. So it's interesting to get her take as an outsider coming in on the different ways that the Swedish people deal with things such as possessions and decorating their homes and work and recreation and relationships and health. It's a really interesting book. It's not a hard read at all. And there's some beautiful photography in it. So I'm reading that. I finished listening to the audiobooks of book 4 and 5 of the J.P. Beaumont series by J.A. Jance. And so now I'm waiting for the next book to become available. I finished reading book 34 of the In Death series by J.D. Robb, and I have the next one to read. I finished last night reading book 13 of the Cat series by Lillian Jackson Braun. It was a good one. I enjoyed that. I'm currently listening to The Chemist by Stephanie Meyer. Yes, that's Stephanie Meyer, who wrote such things as Twilight. But this is not, her writing has changed. She's grown as an author. This is about a former, I think, CIA agent who is now on the run because the powers that be tried to have her killed, and she's been living life on the run.
Oh, yikes.
So I think it's 15 or 17 hours. And I'm I think maybe 4 hours in. So I do listen to it on 1.5 speed, but it's interesting thus far. And then reading is actually the book that is in my book sleeve over here, because insomnia. So I read a lot of this last night. Far from the Tree by Robin Binway. What does it mean to be a family? If the rest of this book, I'm about halfway through. If the rest of this book is as good as the first half, highly recommend. So it's about 3 teenagers. They're got fuzz or something in my mouth. They are biological siblings, but who had never met each other. Grace is the middle child. She was adopted at birth. And good grief, there must be fuzz or something in the air. She got pregnant. I'm not giving away any spoilers by telling you this. She gets pregnant when she's 16. She puts her own baby up for adoption, and that leads her to want to try to find her birth mother. But she finds out that she's got an older brother and a younger sister. Maya is the younger sister who was adopted at birth, and then the adoptive parents found out 3 months later that they had gotten pregnant. So there is some drama there with being the adopted and the biological. And then the older brother is, I think this Joaquin.
Yeah.
That's how I pronounce it. Joaquin, he was not adopted. He has lived with foster parents all his life and gone through many of them. And there's some secrets there that we are starting to get a little bit into, but haven't totally. And it's very interesting. Yeah, so like I said, if the second half of it is as good as the first half, I highly recommend. So, okay, Dammy, we watched a movie together. What did we watch? Do you recall?
Star Wars 4, A New Hope.
Oh, A New Hope. So we are rewatching some of the Star Wars movies before we go see the new one next week.
I.e. not the prequels, just because.
Dammy didn't want to watch the prequels, so we're watching...
There's too many of them!
We're watching 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 in that order. So we've gotten 4 done, and we'll probably get several of them done this weekend when we're all home together. And then I am way behind on Hallmark Christmas movies. It's just been one of those weeks. But I have watched Christmas Town, A Christmas Love Story, and A Homecoming for the Holidays. So those are really good. I have watched the entirety of season 3 of The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Last night, or yes, it was yesterday afternoon, because we needed to go run some errands before we went to knitting group. And I had been watching the season 3 finale, and I had 17 minutes left when we needed to leave. And so I sat down to try to watch it today, and I got to the last 5.5 minutes, and I had to stop it and go pick up Dammy from work. So then I watched it.
Right before we recorded.
Yeah. I'm not going to give any spoilers, but I had a feeling what was coming, and I was right. And it's already been renewed for season 4, so we know that we're going to get closure to what was happening at the end of the end of the season. It was very good, very, very good. There's an especially heart-wrenching moment in, I think it was in episode 7, in relation to Susie, who is Mrs. Maisel's manager. So, yeah, very good, but there is language in it, so parents, use your own judgment before you let your kids watch it with you. We're watching Supernatural season 15, watching season 7 of The Blacklist. Liz's mother faked her own death. Liz knows, but Reddington does not.
Wow.
And then do you want to talk about the other thing that we're watching?
Okay. We are watching Baby Yoda, season 1.
The Mandalorian. And I
don't even remember. I don't know if I watched it with you or not.
You did.
I think I was just focusing on Baby Yoda.
Yeah. But there's another episode that we haven't watched yet for this week. And then I think there's not one next week, but there is one the week after.
Because you gotta go see
Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker.
Yes.
In cinemas, December 20th.
Which is my sister's 39th birthday.
tomorrow.
That's tomorrow. Today, if you're watching this today, it went live. I posted on Facebook, but I'll try to remember to post here, a song called, it's a YouTube video, called Dear Baby Yoda, and it's sung to Dear Theodosia from Hamilton, and it is so funny.
You have big eyes.
Dear Baby Yoda, what to say to you? Yeah, that's all we've been watching. Like I said, we've gotten behind, but also I am watching a bunch of Vlogmas Flossmas videos. I'm trying to think who all I'm watching. I'm watching Michelle Bendy. I'm watching Joanna of Stitching the High Notes. I'm watching Diane of Suburban Stitcher. I am watching Sammy of Sammy Joe Stitches. Is that everybody that I'm watching? Plus then the regular FlossTube and podcast episodes. So there's a lot. There's a lot I'm watching. So listening to My Favorite Murder podcast, it was actually kind of funny because today they released a new episode, and it was actually a show that they did in Portland in 2017. It was a live show that they did, and it was funny to like listen to it as versus where they are now in 2019. It was a good one. You and I have been listening to in the car the CC and Dammy Love Christmas Spotify playlist. When I'm in the car alone, I'm listening to audiobooks or podcasts usually. What have you been listening to?
Random Spotify playlists, Christmas playlists, cabin pressure.
As one does. Okay, I think that's everything for this segment, so let's move on to the next one. Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening. A beautiful sight, we're happy tonight. Walking in a winter wonderland. Gone away is the new bird. Here to stay is the new bird. He sings a love song as we go along, walking in a winter wonderland.
Ow.
That's right. We did good on that one, Dammy.
We are going to talk about the December, January, February. Walking in a winter wonderland.
Okay, walking in a winter wonderland.
Ow. So this runs from the 1st of December and it runs through the 29th of February. And it's for any project that you can knit, crochet, weave, spin, stitch, or sew that you can convince us is related to winter.
Yes.
There are a couple main rules. The first is that no whips are allowed. Your project has to have been begun no earlier than the 1st of December and then finished no later than the 29th of February. And then the other main rule is that each project that you knit, crochet, weave, or spin must be at least 20 yards. If your project isn't at least 20 yards, group it in a single post with other projects that together total at least 20 yards. For ruling on stitching and sewing projects, we leave it up to your best judgment, but if you'd like us to take a look, you can PM Java Pearl on Ravelry or email us at geekygirlsknit@gmail.com. You can feel free to poly dip in other longs as long as it fits in with other rules. That's absolutely fine. We have lots of lovely prizes on our screen right now. Thank you to our donors. If you'd like to get closer looks at these projects or see where they came from, you can go to our show notes, geekygirlsknit.com, or tune into the first podcast of every month. If you're interested in donating a prize, you can, again, PM Java Pearl on Ravelry or email us at geekygirlsknit@gmail.com.
Yes.
You must be a member of the Geeky Girls Knit and Cross Stitch podcast FlossTube group on Ravelry in order to participate. There's a hashtag if you'd like to tag your projects or post on social media. It's GGK Winter 1920. The FO thread is going to be locked the morning of the 1st of March, and winners will be drawn for the next podcast after that. And any winners have 30 days to claim their prize, or they forfeit it.
Yes.
There's a chatter thread on Ravelry where you guys can post your progress and talk about your projects. That's where I congratulate people who finish as well. But I also do that here.
Yes.
So, A. Bingham, Angelic Embers, Crochet Chick 31, Falling Star 12, I Knit Socks 2, Knit Live Love, Little Angel SG2, El McCall, Little Mermaid, Mamma Mia 64, Meditative Crafter, Mockingbird Maid, Mystery Sewer, PJ Pearls, Sam Ash Williams 94, Silver Luna 2112, Travel Socks, VT Kimmy Kim, and Yellcat 2.
Great job. I just realized that I have a mistake.
Oh.
Do you see it?
No. I don't see it.
Right there.
Oh.
It's knit instead of purl. I will drop down and fix it. So, it's not too late to join in on this. You have well over 2 months to get projects done. Yeah, and we love seeing what y'all create. Sometimes I go and cue patterns based on what I see in the FO thread. So we both love to look through the FO thread and see what y'all are working on. So, yep. All right, well, let's move on to the next segment. Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. And since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Oh, it doesn't show signs of stopping, but I brought some corn for popping. The lights are turned way down low. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
Now it's time for Ask the Geeky Girls, the part of our show where you ask us things and we try to answer them.
That's right.
Trying to see if I can see Kitty.
She's hiding in I think she's in the Dr. Hope's chair.
This week's question is from Amy, who is A. Bingham from Oregon.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
I was an army brat growing up. Our family liked to adopt holidays and traditions from places we've lived. Last year, even though we didn't live there, we adopted Iceland's
I think it's
Jólabókaflóð.
That
translates to the Christmas book flood. Link to history in the show notes.
Okay, so let me tell you briefly what this is. So, it started like in World War II when there was restrictions on imports to Iceland, but that didn't apply to the book market. So they began a tradition of the publishing industry in Iceland like releases a bazillion books around holiday time. And then on Christmas Eve, books are exchanged, and then you take to bed with your book and chocolate and read. Yeah.
Nice.
So that is it in a nutshell. Okay.
My question is 2 parts. Are there any traditions or holidays that you have adopted from Scotland or elsewhere?
So we were trying to think like of Scottish Christmas traditions, and honestly, it's become very anglicized, and so a lot of what they do is exactly what we do over here, with Christmas trees, decorations, caroling, the big family dinner. One of the things, though, that is different is they do Christmas crackers, which I think are illegal over here, apparently. But those were a lot of fun. So
they pop.
They do. So it's like a long thing with...
It's like a long Tootsie Roll.
Exactly. And you have 2 people and you each hold it and it pops, and there's like a paper crown and usually some little toy and a joke in it.
Bad joke.
A very bad joke. Not like a dad joke type joke. So I wish we could do that over here because that would be a lot of fun. We enjoyed doing Christmas crackers, even though they were ridiculous. Yeah. I'm trying to think, are there any other holidays throughout the year that we have embraced? Or any traditions from other holidays from our time in Scotland? I can't think of any.
No.
I really can't. If y'all think of one that we maybe have not mentioned that we're just forgetting because our brains are so tired, post in the episode thread or in the YouTube comments, because I can't think of anything right now. Okay, so what's the second question?
Do you think the Jólabókaflóð is a holiday your family would be interested in adopting?
Well, it's kind of funny because we open our Christmas gifts on Christmas Eve, and we started the tradition a few years ago of giving Dammy as well as my niece and nephews, Dammy's cousins, a book or books for Christmas. And there's always other things under the tree from grandparents and such. Santa fills the stockings during the night, And then on Christmas morning, we open our stockings. And there's usually some kind of a little bit bigger...
Santa fills the stockings with candy.
There's usually some kind of bigger gift in there, as well as like candies and other things. So, yeah. But so it's, we kind of do the tradition of books, which is a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And in my opinion, you can never have too many books.
No.
You could have too many toys.
Precisely.
But books. So the books we got this year for the niece and nephews are all related to things they're interested in. I called my mom and was like, okay, tell me what they're interested in. So Lola got one about being a veterinarian because she's interested in doing that. Wyatt got one about space. And Waylon got one about karate ninjas.
Oh, wow.
Dammy has not gotten hers yet. They're in the dining room. I told her not to look in the box. Hopefully she has not.
Box.
Because I have not wrapped anything.
Boxing Day.
I have not wrapped anything. So, I told you, we're missing a week.
I'm going to eat the wrapping paper.
No, you're not.
Yes.
Well, I actually usually don't wrap in wrapping paper. I usually wrap in gift bags and then reuse them.
Yeah.
So.
Much easier.
Yes. Okay, I hope that answered your question, Amy. I am so sorry, y'all. I just feel very scatterbrained today. It's because I've not gotten enough sleep and I am trying to make it through it with caffeine. And not getting enough sleep causes the fibromyalgia brain fog to get even worse.
Even if you have enough caffeine?
Even if I have a lot of caffeine. So, apologies. I think we answered the question.
Yeah.
Dammy, if somebody has a question for us, what should they do?
Go to our Ask the Geeky Girls thread in our Ravelry group and post it.
That's right. And we answer them in the order they come in, unless it's time sensitive. I know I think we have at least one more question, but we'll run out. So if you have a question, please go post it. If you're not on Ravelry, for example, if you're a cross-stitch or sewing person and you're watching but you don't have a Ravelry account, you can create a Ravelry account, or if you would like to ask a question, post it in the YouTube comments, and then I will copy and paste it over to the Ask the Geeky Girls thread so that we can answer it in the order it came in. So please feel free to do that. There's not been a single question yet that we have not been willing to answer. So, and we've answered a lot. So, okay, Dammy, I think we're ready to move on to the next segment. Have a holly jolly Christmas. It's the best time of the year. I don't know if there'll be snow, but have a cup of cheer. Ho, ho, the mistletoe hung where you can see. Somebody waits for you. Kiss her once for me. Have a holly jolly Christmas. And in case you didn't hear, oh by golly, have a holly jolly Christmas this year. Yeah, have a holly jolly Christmas, y'all. Oh wait, why is it popping up things? Don't pop up things. We don't need that. Okay. Reminder, upcoming podcast schedule. Next week's episode 376, will release on Friday the 27th of December. Episode 377, the first episode of 2020, releases on Thursday, the 2nd of January. That is the episode where we will announce the grand prize winners for the year-long 2019 RAW.
Wow.
Exciting times.
You better tune in.
That's right.
Or we'll eat your prizes.
There are some big prizes. Y'all can see them, and they're in the show notes. And then episodes following that, for Dammy's winter quarter at school, are going to release on Fridays. We're going to record them on Thursdays. They'll release on Fridays. We just have to go with we have no control over when classes are scheduled. So we just have to go with her schedule and make it work. And that's how we're going to make it work in the winter quarter. It could change in the spring quarter, but for the winter quarter, that's our plan. Okay. a reminder about 31 Days of Christmas and Random Acts of Kindness. Random Acts of Kindness is what we're doing on my Instagram account, which is cc_almond. And I'm doing a post every day where you look at the bundle of patterns that are on sale this week, which I'll talk about in just a second. You tell me which pattern you would like, as well as your Ravelry username. And then the next morning I do random picker and pick one person and they get gifted the pattern.
Wow.
Okay. So we're continuing to do 31 Days of Christmas. This week, this is week 3, and all of our sock patterns are on sale. The coupon code is not what I said it was last week. I hope you looked at the screen because I said it wrong. It is 31 days. Days, all capital letters. 31DAYS. You can use it more than once. Feel free to use it multiple times to get all the patterns that you would like that are on sale. Week 4 sale patterns are going to be all of our fandom patterns.
Ooh.
And that is going to run from Sunday the 22nd to Saturday the 28th. And then ebooks, we'll talk about that more next week.
Ooh.
All that information is on all our social medias as well as in the show notes, so check it out. That's what I was going to say. We created bundles of each week's sale patterns so that you can just go to that link and see all of them. So that's all on social media as well as in the show notes. As we've mentioned several times throughout this episode, I am doing Vlogmas, which is a short video daily on our YouTube account, youtube.com/geekygirlsnet. They're usually around 10 minutes. There's been a few that have been a little less or a little more. But you're just getting kind of my daily what's going on. Dammy makes appearances, Pink Pearl makes appearances, the Dr. Hubs makes appearances, as well as our stitching and knitting group, as well as just mom's group. You know, you get lots of things. And sometimes you get rants. Like yesterday, I ranted about a hardware store that I was upset with because they did not have good customer service. But it's fine. I got the light bulbs. I'm all good. And like we said, this was our Christmas karaoke episode. We hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, it's a lot of fun to do that. Even though sometimes we mess up the songs and we just do the best we can. Okay, Dammy, do we have any other reminders, announcements to make?
No.
Okay, so we'd like to say a big thank you to everyone who supports the podcast, especially those of you who support us financially, because unfortunately it does cost money to make a podcast, whether it's technology stuff, shipping, behind the scenes costs, etc. So a big heart to those of you who support us financially. There's 3 main ways you can do that. First is Patreon, which is a site where you pledge a certain amount a month to your favorite creatives. You earn rewards based on the level you donate at. Dammy, if somebody wants to know more about that or wants to sign up, where do they go?
Patreon.com/geekygirlsnet.
What's another way?
There's a PayPal button in the sidebar of our website if you'd like to make a one-time donation.
And we are Amazon.com.co.uk and .ca affiliates. If you're going to shop on Amazon, go to our site first, look in the sidebar or at the bottom of the show notes, click on your appropriate Amazon, shop as normal. We'll earn a little money back based on what you purchased. Doesn't cost you anything extra. It's a great way to support the podcast by doing things you'd be doing anyway, including holiday shopping. So, click on over and help us out. Dammy, why don't you tell them where they can find us online?
You can find us at geekygirlsnet.com. There are links to everywhere else we are online: YouTube, iTunes, Ravelry, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc.
That's right. Well, with that, we're going to tell you goodbye. We wish happy holidays to you and yours, and no matter what holiday you're celebrating, we hope that you're able to be with the ones you love. And if you're not, that you can find a way to connect with someone to make it a better holiday for both of you. So reach out to someone who might not have family close by, or if you're that person, reach out and try to make some connections with people so that you can have a great holiday as well. So until next time, happy crafting, happy holidays. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Good tidings we bring to you and your kin. Good tidings for Christmas and a Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Pinky. Happy Christmas. I love you even when you're stinky. Say meow. Can you say meow meow? Say bye-bye, peoples. Happy holidays. Happy holidays. Happy holidays. Happy holidays. Are you getting presents? Maybe. Maybe. Oh, okay. She's done. Happy holidays.